Hey everybody, Karyn Bryant for MMA Heat. I'm talking with Jouban as he's on his way between training and who knows what. It's very important, but we definitely wanted to talk about some of the things from UFC 225. Alan, how was training this morning though? Was it good?
Training was awesome. Obviously, I'm in camp right now. We're on a little bit different schedule, but we wanted to get something out. This was such a crazy card. It delivered, but they had a couple crazy moments in it as well. So I'm going to do a quick 10-minute Skype session in the car because there's a lot I want to talk about with Karyn, and she'll take it over. But I'm good. This session went good. I just got to go get my ribs adjusted at the doctor real quick.
Cool. All right. So since you have limited time, I don't know if you want to talk about Yoel versus Robert, or if you want to talk about the Colby stuff. What's on your mind more than anything else?
Let's get into the co and the main right away.
Okay.
Both of them need to be talked about.
Okay, so cool. What did you think? The co-main event. By the way, folks, I'm also on vacation up at Lake Arrowhead, which is nice. So got the bathing suit on, still underneath. I may or may not have a vacation type beverage here. I'm not sure. But you know what? I have to give credit to Colby. You know, I thought that RDA was going to be able to outbox him, and I thought that the boxing was going to work. Obviously, Colby had a very good strategy of charging back, putting him against the fence, and making Rafael have to work a lot to defend takedowns, which Rafael did defend a lot of takedowns. I don't really necessarily think that Colby did a lot of damage with what he did, and at one point in the fight, I said basically it's kind of a lather, rinse, repeat approach from Colby. And so while I give him credit in being able to neutralize the best parts of Rafael's game, you know, I tweeted this out too. I said, hey, folks, does this performance make you think he's a world beater? And most people were like, no, and that was kind of my take too, was this is a very effective strategy, and it is definitely working, and I give you credit for that. That is not a strategy, though, that I think will work against Tyron Woodley and or a lot of other welterweights.
Yeah, it was an interesting fight. So my two takeaways from the co-main event with Colby. Colby, the first thing that grabbed me, Karyn, was that Colby looked really good, as you said. Yeah. You have to love him or hate him. You have to give him his dues. He looked very strong. Yeah. His cardio has always been something that I kind of spoke about, and we got to really see it. 5 rounds of out cardio, and a guy like RDA, who was known for his cardio, that was kind of RDA's strength. He would always be able to push harder than his opponent. This fight, he was the guy getting backed up. He was the guy getting out-pushed, and I could feel like he was kind of breaking. Did you see that point in the fight somewhere after the third round? Colby walked back to his corner and kind of did like that, made a gesture as if RDA was breaking. And I agree.
But actually, RDA came out.
Police officer.
Sit straight.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say there was
change the angle on the phone.
There you go. There was a couple of rounds where at the beginning, it was all Colby. And then I thought RDA turned it up a little bit. And then I was like, hey, maybe he was playing rope-a-dope. And he just wanted to get the later round, take him into the later rounds, because RDA, I believe it was either the third or fourth round, he actually came out hot. And I thought he was going to have a little bit more success. But really, for me, the problem was that Rafael just kept backing up in a straight line. I really wanted him to use angles more. And that's where I think, I'm not sure why he wasn't, but I feel like that's why I'm saying I don't think Colby's thing will work on everybody. Because to me, it just seemed like if I back up, if I stick and move on an angle instead of backing straight up, then I'm going to have a lot more success.
I agree. I was going to get to the backing up thing. That was a huge issue for me, Karyn. Yeah. Huge issue. The two things that I noticed, obviously, like Colby looked fantastic, but I thought RDA did not look that good. He not only was he backing up, but he wasn't fighting a smart fight. He came out and looked strong in 2 rounds. He was able to out-wrestle Colby for a little bit, but I felt like it was strategically the wrong game plan. He should have been trying to take the center and put hands on Colby and try to hurt him a little bit more, because when RDA was wasting energy out wrestling him, he would wrestle him, take him down for about 30 seconds, Colby would get up and then switch the position and put RDA back on the cage. And it was almost like he was expending energy. It's like wrestling when you hear the 10-second clapper. There's no point in expending energy if you're not really getting anything out of it. Right. RDA, as good as Colby looked in the fight, I think RDA looked off. He was not fighting as smart as I've seen him fight before, and I think he was thrown off, being forced to be the guy to walk backwards rather than forward, where he's more comfortable.
Yeah, well, I want to ask you, since we don't have as much time, what you thought of the interview afterwards. There's a lot of heat that's going on right now, because basically, in a nutshell, if people haven't seen it yet, when Colby came on, I treated him with respect and introduced him the way I would introduce anybody who want to fight. Smile on my face. Hey, listen, dude, great fight. Congratulations. How does that belt feel? And, how do you feel about your performance? And he kind of just went in and said, oh, look, all my haters all in one place, and kind of went in on the offensive, even though we were being complimentary towards him. And so then he and Michael really got into it in the interview, and Michael was trying to give him some lessons on how to play the bad guy to better effect. But I'm curious what your take is on it. It was sort of a polarizing interview.
I got to say, thank God for interviews. Right now, the Kardashians is not on TV, Karyn. I don't have much reality TV to keep me entertained these days, but I have fight interviews with you guys. It was money. It was such a good interview. As awkward as it may have been, that thing has got to be going viral today. It was hilarious. But thank God for Bisping, to be honest. Bisping is a guy, he will tell it like it is. Sometimes he'll put a smile on his face to kind of break the awkwardness, but he still speaks what's on his mind. And he felt like he needed to speak up. Right. He was the bigger man fighter in the room. He felt like he was obligated to speak up. It was his teammate, RDA, who had lost the fight to him. I felt like Michael Bisping kind of felt obligated, like, I need to be the guy to speak up in this situation because he's closely related to it. And Michael Bisping is just not a guy that's going to take that kind of stuff. He's been in the situation that Colby's been in, having the belt. He's been a guy that, look, Michael has a lot of haters as well, but he still says what's on his mind. Colby's doing similar tactics, much more exaggerated. But Michael did a great job. All the videos that I'm seeing, they're labeled things. Like, I just love Michael and kind of said what was on his mind, put Colby in his place. It also shows me that Colby is in this for the long haul. He got what he wanted, and he deserves to be having a title shot. He had a great fight. This is really going to ability to fight against him and Tyron Woodley that much more exciting, though, because the trash talk is really just only begun for this super fight that's going to take place.
Yeah, you broke up a little bit there, but I basically got all of what you're saying, agreeing with Michael Bisping's approach there. And yeah, Colby did earn that title shot. I think the title shot that he gets with Tyron is going to be interesting. I guess the point to me, and I was for the most part okay with what Michael did. I know John Anik didn't love Michael's approach, and there's been some stuff there. I'm not really taking sides on that. I'm just saying that in the moment in the room during that interview, I understood what Michael's approach. I understood what he was doing, and I understood what he was saying. And, there really was a part of me that was, not that I expected Colby to act differently, but like I said, I approached him as I would approach anybody else. And there was a part of me, even though I didn't really think it was going to happen, that thought, hey, cool, maybe Colby can use this time now to maybe tone down the act a little bit and talk to us like a champion, you know what I mean? Like a real fighter in a real interview. And so it was a little disappointing to me to not get that, because I actually really was curious what he thought about his performance. Kenny really did ask him how he thinks the matchup with Tyron's going to be. Like, there are actual real fight questions that I would have liked to get answered that didn't. And so for that, I'm sort of like, well, Colby, you kind of blew it. But he did what he's trying to do again, which is say something controversial, do something controversial to get people to notice. So for that, he was successful again. But I would have appreciated a real answer in there somewhere.
Yeah. At some point, you just need to actually, stop saying the rehearsed line.
Yeah.
Stop repeating quotes over and answer some questions. You could be a bad guy, but you also have to be real at some point. And I think that's what he's still having hiccups on, playing this character. Because the one thing I have a question for you, Karyn, is Do you know what Colby got paid in his last fight?
I don't.
His last fight was Damian Maya, correct?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what he's making these days. I really don't know.
So I saw the pay scales this morning, and Colby got somewhere around $350,000 to show flat rate.
Good for
flat
him.
Rate per. So, yeah, really good money. And what that tells me though is either A, that's what the UFC is paying title challengers, title fight guys these days, or B, the UFC is really paying him to backing him to play this character, to go out and sell these pay-per-view fights. They're rewarding him for the amount of work that he's putting in as this bad guy. But I was shocked when I saw this morning that, like I said, it was around $300,000 to $350,000 to show. No win bonus, flat rate. He got in there. He did what he had to do. He said the trash talk. He made the fight an exciting fight. Before the fight, it was an exciting fight, but I mean, he sold the fight.
He sold it, right? It wasn't exciting, but he sold it.
He sold the fight. Right, he sold the fight, and I feel like the UFC is rewarding him for these actions. So, like I said, maybe they're paying welterweight title challengers about $300,000 these days if you get to that. But I feel like he was probably around the 50-50, 60-60 pay mark before this fight. I feel like something about the trash talk he's getting rewarded because of that.
Yeah, I think he's getting rewarded. I think it's working for him. Like I said, I still think, and always will, that that Tyron's right hand is going to stop all of that. But hey, you know what? Again, I give him credit for beating Rafael the way he did, and you know, it is what it is. It's the fight game, and I get that you come at us, oh, my haters here, but at the end of the day, also, like, put your big boy panties on. Like, we pick fights, right? We pick who we think is going to win. It's not a personal attack. He took it much more personally than he needed to. I had to sit there and pick between Carla and Claudia. I think they're both awesome. Hopefully, you know, one doesn't get mad that I thought, okay, in this situation, I think this person might win. It's our job. You shouldn't get that butt hurt, but whatever.
And this is the other thing, the last thing on that, Karyn. If you're going to play the role of a bad guy like that, and you're going to dish it out, you need to take it as well.
Right.
If you're going to play the role like F the world, then the world is going to respond to you, and you need to go to take it. So like you said, he needs to be able to realize that he's going to get a reaction for his actions, so he can't be so butthurt from it. Well, last note on the Colby Covington thing, though. Tyron Woodley, better fighter across the board, except for one thing, Karyn. Tyron Woodley does not have the cardio that Colby does, and that will be interesting. If Colby chooses to play the same game that he did against all his opponents, if he tries to do it against Tyron, Tyron is a better wrestler and doesn't have a better right hand, but will he wear Tyron down? That'll be interesting to see. That's what kind of the thing I'm going to be looking for when they do lock horns.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting fight. I'm looking forward to it. I know you have to go to the doctor in a few, but who did you think won the main event? Did you think it was Whittaker or did you think it was Romero?
Oh no, it was correct. It was 3 rounds to 2 Whittaker. I don't really see that any other way. Over 3 rounds, I can't remember 3 rounds to 2, but yeah, I definitely had Whittaker winning. I can't remember what the final scoring was, but they scored it right. Whittaker should have been the guy that got the belt. I mean, you know, it gets interesting when you think about how Yoel almost finished Whittaker a number of times, but he didn't, and Whittaker's resilience made him come back. And so there was no 10-8 round. It should have been a 10-9 round. I definitely had Whittaker winning. And you as well?
Yes, I did have Whittaker winning. It's funny because at the end I sort of tweeted out like, oh my God, that was an incredible fight. I don't know who won. I really think it got down to the point because at the end, a lot of people think Yoel could have gotten a 10-8. And if, you know, the way the scoring was going, if you're like, if you think this, if you think that, that it could have ended up being a draw, which I think I would have been okay with. But I have to say, I've always been a huge Robert Whittaker fan. But the fact that he goes in there, he put the picture out. We put it on our Facebook page. You know, his right hand was, right, that's my left. His right hand was broken right around here, underneath sort of the thumb area and right around here. So Robert was dealing with a broken hand during that fight. And I just think the guy is such an incredible warrior. I do believe that that's the right call. But, you know, Yoel is a monster in the 3rd round. He's just a monster. And in that 5th round, too, we were all screaming at the TV like, don't stop the fight, because like Robert was, you know, like kind of huddled up and kind of curled up, and he wasn't fully turtled. He's still reaching, you know, he's still defending and stuff like that. So we were kind of freaking out that we didn't want them to stop that fight. Mind you, they could have stopped the Alistair Overeem Curtis Blaydes fight a few elbows sooner. Good God. But yeah, no, I'm okay with Whittaker. I think that's the right call. I think it's heartbreaking. You know, as much as I and you, we get on guys, you got to make the weight. You got to make the weight. Yes, Yoel really needed to make the weight. I think it sucks that the commission stopped him before he could cut the .2, because I think he would have made it. But again, it's his job to make the weight. That's 2 title fights in a row he didn't make weight, and that's a problem. That said, I could watch Whittaker and Romero fight every other day.
Yeah, they're a great matchup. I remember literally watching the fight saying, man, all the other people who had exciting fights are in the dressing room right now saying, damn it, they just took fight tonight.
Right.
It was such an epic fight, such a brawl. Everybody else must have just been like, doing their best on as far as hopes of getting a fight bonus. But in that fight, a couple of things stand out. Whittaker's resilience, man. He's able to scramble with the best wrestler we've probably ever seen inside the UFC, the most freakish athlete we've ever seen. And Whittaker can out-scramble him a lot of times. And he's done so, obviously, on one leg the first fight, and he's done so with one hand the second fight. We saw Yoel Romero playing kind of rope-a-dope the first round. You remember that? He was playing that high guard the first round?
Really, right.
I was curious what was going on. I think he was just kind of thinking, let me conserve my gas tank. I have 5 rounds. I gassed out the previous fight. Let me just give him 1 round. Let him burn himself out. Hopefully give me an advantage. It didn't really work. And as we saw, it actually, Yoel's eye got swollen up pretty decent in that first and second round when he was still kind of playing the rope-a-dope. So I think that was, and he still got tired. So I don't think that was a smart move. He didn't take too much damage, but his eye got swollen. But to finish this fight, to me, it elevates Whittaker tremendously.
Right.
I like Whittaker, but before this fight, I felt like he's a little bit too much, and this is coming from one family man to another, he's a little bit too much of a good, clean family man. You know, there's nothing there, like there's no meat on the bone. He's just a good, nice guy, athlete. And sometimes you want something. You want somebody who speaks the truth. You want somebody who lets it all hang out. You want somebody who shows off emotions. And this fight did that for me. This fight, when he walked out and he had the all-black champion's outfit, Reebok kit on with the hoodie up, and he was walking out, I was like, this guy looks like a champion. This guy looks like a superstar. This is the kind of guy that kids want to be like. This is the kind of guy that is a champion in the face of the UFC. And then when you fight like that and back it up and you find out that you were injured the entire time and you showed the heart, this fight really took Whittaker from being just a really good guy to being a superstar status in the UFC, and I hope they really start to promote him that way after this fight.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I know you're pixelated, but at least the volume, the words are right. But like, I could not agree with you more that this was a statement-making fight for him. And, you know, I've said it all along. I've always been a Whittaker fan because I got to meet him when he was winning tough smashes. And I knew back then that he had champion material, you know. But the way he carries himself, but I agree with you. It's like, he's too nice. He's too much of a family man. He's too this in a way, right? To be to be like that badass fighter guy that everybody wants to be. It's kind of the same thing with Demetrius Johnson, right? Like, give me a little bit of an edge. I need something. I need you to have a little bit of an edge here to get behind you. And so I agree. I think this is the kind of fight that does that for Robert. Like, he's everything I want in a champion, though, if I'm being 100% honest with you, because not only does he throw down when it's time, but he is very respectable. Gotta be honest, Wade's not in the room. Dude's easy on the eyes. I'm not mad at Robert Whittaker. I'm not mad. Nor most of my girlfriends. They are not mad at him. And so, to me, he's a very marketable guy because you never fear that when you put Robert Whittaker in a situation that he's going to embarrass the company. Do you know what I mean? And then when you do see him fight like that, you're like, oh, damn. Because most people don't want any part of Yoel Romero. And to beat that man twice is spectacular.
Yeah. I agree. I think the company must feel very safe now having a champion who's so professional.
Yeah.
He fights so good. He's got tremendous heart. He's willing to accept the fight against an overweight opponent.
Right.
He's willing to do these things on multiple occasions. And as you said, he's easily on the eyes for the general women's population. I agree with you, Karyn. Not that I have a crush on him, but my wife asked me repeatedly during the fight. She goes, "Who's that guy again?" And I go, "Wait, why do you keep asking me who that guy is?" And men, when your wife is like asking you, what's his name again? Like multiple times, you know what that means. They're very curious for a reason. They want to look up his Instagram to see who he is. So
right.
I agree. I think he's good for the women to bring eyes on the sport, but more so than anything, like I said, I respected him a ton as a fighter, but he didn't, like you said the perfect word. He didn't have that edge.
Yeah. And
in this fight, he got that edge, man. The walkout, the way that he fought, and he was so honest at the end. He was like, Yoel hits like a truck. He's like, this guy hits so hard. My hand is numb, but he wasn't making excuses. He was being genuine with his answers, and I'm a huge fan now. I'm a Whittaker guy, and I feel like he's going to be a hard guy to beat with that gas tank and adaptability, the scramble ability against the wrestlers, and he's got the striking. He's got the MMA striking down to a science. He's a great guy, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah, I think he could be a champion for a long time. Are you at your appointment? Do you have to go?
I'm parked. I'm gonna go get my body healed up and get that second session going.
Very cool. Well, lastly, though, we kind of touched on it for a second. Curtis Blaydes, Alistair Overeem, my goodness. Curtis is looking like a future contender. Like, he could contend now. I'm excited for him. He's a good dude, and my God, those elbows.
Those elbows are crazy. You watch the replay on those, and to see the blood splatter after every single elbow, it was like a horror movie. It was an epic highlight reel for him. We have to go over our picks later. Maybe Wade could edit that in.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I did not pick Blaydes. I picked Overeem. I just had to go with my heart. My heart was telling me, like, he's the veteran that I've been following his entire career. It was hard for me to go against him. But look, Overeem almost ended the fight very early with that knee, that step-in knee that he loves to do. Caught him on the chin and shows that Blaydes has a solid chin. He's got a bright future ahead of him. Yeah,
I did pick Blaydes, so I went on that one. But yeah, no, I definitely want to have to get into this. Another point, we'll have to talk some more about it. But I know you got to get to your appointment, so I don't want you to be late. Where can people find you on social media?
At Alan Jouban across the board, and my YouTube channel, YouTube.com/Alan Jouban, everyone.
All right, awesome. For me, it's KB Heat on Instagram, Karyn Bryant everywhere else. Thanks for watching, folks, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, everyone. Thank you.